What's up? It's me, Spider-Man. Miles Morales' cousin. I got bit by the spider too. I'm from the alternate dimension. You already know. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's your boy. It's me. Oh, I guess face reveal. First off, I never showed my face on this channel. But basically, let's just get right into this. This past month, I have been nothing but bored. Either I'm watching YouTube or I'm sleeping. Okay, so I decided, you know what? Let's hop back on the PS4. Let's start playing some Fortnite. Let's just have some fun. But as I quickly remembered, my monitor is trash. And the only way I can play on my PS4 is through my Elgato so that I can see the visuals on my PC without actually going to my PS4, if that makes sense. So, since I'm already using the software, I decided, well, might as well make a video. And so I downloaded Spider-Man since I never played it and I bought it on day one. And I decided, you know what, let's do this thing. So let's get right into the review. The number one thing I loved about this game, well, technically the number one and two, is the fighting and the fighting animation. It's just so fun. Now, some people might claim it to be simple, and I get that. I totally do. It does feel like you're playing the Batman game since it is made by the same company and they do use the same fighting mechanics and styles. But hey, that's not a bad thing. Like, it's so enjoyable. Throwing people up in the air, yanking them back down. It's like, and the gadgets, don't even get me started on the gadgets. The gadgets make the game 10 times better, especially when you start using them like as combos. The finishers are badass. Just everything about this game when it comes to fighting is badass, except the occasional bug. You might notice it once or twice, but you'll get a weird looking animation when it comes to an enemy, and then they're kind of stuck for a little bit in the air, or like they'll like bump into someone and then they'll both just stop moving, or like you'll notice like you'll hear a certain sound cue and it won't stop, and it's just small things like that. It won't break your immersion or it won't even break your game, but that's just a couple of things that I noticed when it came to that. And I just feel like I have to point that out. Secondly, the story. The story, it's pretty good. It's not anything to write home about. It's not like a Red Dead type story, but it's a good enough story for a superhero game, especially. It's not a background element. They use the story to unlock features in the game. They use the story to show you new characters, show you new villains. So it's good enough, is basically what I'm trying to say. And for a game that emphasizes exploration and fighting, the story doesn't need to be this giant, beautiful system of intricate characters that somehow play a role and puzzles and all this. Like, it doesn't need to do all that. So if you are the type of person who wants a great story and you've yet to buy this game almost 5 years later, this game is probably not for you. But if you like fighting and you like exploring and you like doing all that stuff, it's a great game. Definitely pick it up. Now, since we've been talking about exploration, we got to jump on that one too. A beautiful part about this game is it takes place in New York City and it does not try to look like another city. It doesn't try to look like a generic pandering type city. It looks like New York City. It makes itself fully aware that it's New York City. It doesn't try to just make it look like a gray type city. It's beautiful. And there's a bunch of things to do around the city. It's not like a just, hey, go do the side missions or go do the main missions type of game. It's, hey, go pick up book bags. Hey, go take photo shoots of important landmarks, whether they're real or not. Hey, oh, that character that's going to pop up in a DLC later? Yeah, go do her stuff real quick. Go pick up her idols or whatever they were in the game. I forgot. But anyway, there's a bunch of things to do. There's policing stuff. There's side missions. There's side quests, whatever you want to call them. It's just an all around great game. This is the first game that I've ever decided to 100%, and I do not regret it at all. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the web slinging. I enjoyed figuring shit out. I enjoyed all that stuff, and I wouldn't really change it. Like, at no point did I even consider using the quick travel or fast travel mechanic. It was just enjoyable. Even if I had to go from one side of the map to the other side of the map and then back. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I was annoyed by it, but it was still fun and entertaining and, enjoyable. So what's there to complain about? And that's really the point of this game. Like, yeah, there are moments where you're kind of like, really, that's corny, or really, this sucks. But at no point are you like, damn, this isn't enjoyable. Because it is. Even the shitty moments are enjoyable. And since we're already talking about the bad moments, we might as well talk about all of them. Like I said before, you'll get the occasional bug and you'll notice it and you might laugh about it or get a little bit annoyed by it, but it's really not that big of a deal because the game's still fun. And now, the major drawback of this game is MJ. I'm sorry, but she's a good character. She's written well, but her missions are not. They're the most boring missions in the world, and it's not like because you're not playing Spider-Man, that's what makes them boring because we get a Miles Morales mission where he's kind of doing the same thing that MJ does, but it's high stakes and you're dealing with a supervillain, so it's not really, and it's just more enjoyable. So it just feels like all her missions are just meant to be slow. They're meant to like take your heart rate down from the Spider-Man and intense swinging, doing all that fast-paced stuff to then instantly just slowness. And when you're playing a game like this and you basically put no danger in a mission other than the occasional, oh, I got caught. I don't know, man. It's just those missions weren't really for me. I've heard people say that they enjoyed those missions. Just for me, whenever I had an MJ mission, I just did not enjoy it. The Miles Morales' missions were kind of similar, but like I said before, he at least deals with a supervillain at one point. Like it's just I don't know, man. It's one of those things. But other than that, the game was really enjoyable. I at no point was just like screw this game, like I don't want to play it. I was in. I was locked from the beginning. And like not that many games can do that to me. I have like gaming ADHD. So, hey, shout out to this game. I'm going to give it a solid 8.9. And I wish I could give it more, which like I wish I could give it a 9, but because of the bugs, like I don't want to, even though they're like such small bugs. And I wish I could give it a 10, but because of the MJ missions, it's like, well, it doesn't really deserve a 10 because it breaks off. And even though those missions are important to further the story, just like all other missions are, it's kind of like, okay, I feel like we could have done this a different way. But at the same time, hey man, I'm not the one writing the story. So who knows?